This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, an Invercargill lawyer comes to the rescue of first home buyers struggling to understand the purchase process. We take a look at the secrets of some sub-Antarctic herbs discovered by University of Otago researchers. And we'll find out why this year's ski season has been a bumper for Central Otago fields. Good evening, I'm Rebecca Dupree. A new app for first home buyers is hitting the market. It's been developed by an Invercargill lawyer who says she's trying to combat a lack of general knowledge about property law, and she's hoping her solution will make the process less intimidating.
Buying a house can be a confusing process. That's why Invercargill lawyer Emma Stanley has created a new phone application called Easy Law. She says purchase details often leave Kiwis stumped, especially when it comes to the fine print.
I realised that there was nothing out there like this for anybody, and I also wanted to put something together for people to package up all the information that they need to know when they're buying a house.
The app is split into 3 different parts, addressing the main stages of home buying. It's for people who are thinking about starting to look for a home, as well as those who have just found one. There's also assistance for when an offer's been made. Stanley says they're the 3 stages that typically prompt clients to reach out.
It'll be interesting to see what the uptake is and how many people download it, and the general feedback that we get once people have actually used it, but so far really great.
Easy Law took 3 months to develop. Stanley says people often Google questions about home buying or ask friends and family before engaging with a lawyer. She says that can involve misinformation and potentially lead to trouble down the line.
The problem is that you only buy a house once or twice or 3 times in your life. It's not something that you do all the time.
The app is available for people all over the country and is free to download for iOS and Android phones. Stanley says the property market is intimidating enough, so she's happy to help. Ruby Spink, The South Today.
Increasing use of electronic devices is likely to lead to eye strain and long-term retinal damage, according to optometrists. 9 in every 10 optometrists in New Zealand are concerned about the number of people they're seeing with eye damage related to digital device use. They say some children as young as 5 years old are presenting with problems as a result. Dunedin optometrist Peter Dix says strained vision, headaches and sleep deprivation are all linked to high-energy blue light emitted by flat screens. He says there's a cumulative effect from regularly switching between different devices. People aged between 30 and 40 tend to be most affected, but teenagers are also in a high-risk group. University of Otago researchers are uncovering the secrets of some remarkable isolated plants. They say megaherbs on remote sub-Antarctic islands use heat to survive in the bleak conditions, and theirs is the first evidence of that happening outside the tropics.
Studying some most unusual flora, Dr Janice Lord is the curator of the Otago Regional Herbarium and a senior botany lecturer at the University of Otago. Lately, she's been involved in a doctoral thesis about the colour of flowers on New Zealand sub-Antarctic megaherbs.
We have this amazing flora of these big, brightly coloured, sort of monstrous plants, and it's a puzzle because they're unusual. There's nothing like that on the other sub-Antarctic islands, and people have wondered for a long time why they're so brightly coloured.
She says sub-Antarctic plants have been around for a long time and there's evidence they survived the Ice Age. The team of Otago researchers thermally imaged 6 species of Campbell Island megaherbs whose mainland relatives are small and pale-flowered. They discovered the flowers and leaves of the remote variety heat up rapidly, making the most of rare moments of sunshine and calm weather.
The way the weather works down there, it's cloudy and it's wet and it's cold and it's windy, but every now and then there's a wee part in the clouds and the sun comes out, and as soon as the sun hits these dark coloured flowers, they can heat up to 15 degrees higher than the air temperature, and the insects come out and they flock to the flowers.
That's where pollination comes in.
It's the centre of the flowers that are often the hottest, and that's where the pollen is, and that's where the plant wants the insect to go. And also the leaves heat up, so you've got this mini greenhouse effect.
The plants aren't just unusually coloured, they're also big. Dr. Lord says their flowers are the size of cauliflowers and the herbs grow up to 1 metre high, with leaves like that on a rhubarb plant. This is the first time flowers outside the tropics have been found to heat up.
These plants are actually ancient relics of what was probably a much more widespread Antarctic flora, so they're pretty special. A lot of people don't even know that they're down there, but they're absolutely gorgeous and spectacular.
The Otago teams also found there's an array of strange nocturnal animals attracted to the plants at night, including whetters. They're pursuing that in the next part of the study, with their heating discovery now published in the Polar Research Journal. Rosie Mannins, The South Today.
A crash victim is recovering after being trapped in a vehicle in the Invercargill CBD. The crash occurred near the corner of Nith and I Streets just before 3 p.m. One person was trapped and had to be cut from a car. A person was taken from the scene in a stretcher, although no one else appeared to be seriously injured. The two-car crash is believed to have been caused by the driver of a blue vehicle pulling out of a car park into oncoming traffic. 2 fire appliances, 3 police cars and an ambulance were at the scene. The area was cordoned off for around 20 minutes while police and firemen pushed the 2 vehicles off the road and away from the busy intersection. Well, it's nearing the end of the South Island ski season and staff at One Field are describing this year as epic. Operators of Cardrona Alpine Resort have been seeing an increase in locals on the slopes. And thanks to a new business collaboration, there's also been a rise in overseas visitors.
Visitors to Cardrona are enjoying the last days of the 2016 ski season. Season pass sales were up on last year, and the marketing manager says Australia was a strong market. But the field's business partner, Real Journeys, has driven up the Chinese visitors who see the Alpine Resort as an added destination.
So when they come over and try those activities, the Earnslaw, Walter Peak, Milford Sound and things like that, then Cardrona can be top of mind as well.
Cardrona has sister city relationships with resorts in China, and that's something McIver believes has helped improve the numbers.
It means that we've put Chinese-speaking instructors in, Chinese-speaking hosts and guest service staff, so yeah, it's just an accommodating place for them to come to learn to ski.
There's not many ski days left in the season, but McIver favours this time of year and describes the conditions as springy goodness.
You don't get the super dark early morning starts that we get in peak winter, and then at the end of the day it stays sunny for longer and you can go down to the lake and hang out and go for a mountain bike or something while it's still sunny.
There's still time for local and international visitors to ride the slopes before the season ends in the first weeks of October. Dee Carron, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, the Stoptober Challenge looms, and we'll find out why Kia on Mount Aspiring are about to be followed.
Hi, I'm Doug Hall. I stood for council in the 2013 election and got elected. The achievements I've been part of in the last 3 years have been of a great benefit to Dunedin City. Reducing debt, improving contracts and better liaison with the general public. To further reduce debt and better management of all contracts. Vote Doug Hall, first choice for council.
Hello, my name is Anne Galloway and I'm standing for election to Dunedin City Council. I have lived and worked in Dunedin for 20 years and I'm very proud of this city. And I do know that at times there are very difficult decisions that need to be made. We need councillors who care about the people, about their issues such as healthcare, housing and an ageing population. Vote for me and I will do my best for you and for Dunedin.
Hello, my name is Bruce Fairhurst. The City Council is a giant decision-making machine and every year they make thousands of decisions that affect ratepayers, some in a small way, some in a large way. It's really important that those decisions are fair, made in a democratic way and made with accurate and reliable information. I've lived my entire life in Dunedin and I love it here. I've been working in the construction industry all of that time. I've seen massive changes in the consent process, making it difficult to build or improve your property. I see opportunities to make this process much more user-friendly. Vote Bruce Fairhurst with a 1. I'm looking forward to joining a talented team on the council this term and making Dunedin the best city it can possibly be.
Hi, I'm Dave Yardley and I'm standing for the Otago Regional Council. Two of Otago's greatest resources are our outstanding natural landscape and our capability for agriculture. Getting the balance right between preservation of that landscape and intensification of farming is a real challenge. To meet that challenge, we need a firm understanding of both our environment and our land-based businesses. I have that understanding to ensure that our landscape and farming can coexist in harmony for generations to come. A vote for Dave Yardley is a vote for reason, balance and integrity.
Put your seatbelts on for this one and rev it up. Thursday night is Motorsport Night. They brought to you by multi-award-winning Garador.
Hello, my name is Malcolm Dixon. I'm standing for the Dunedin City Council. I've been in retail for 40 years in Dunedin and I would like to see some changes in the city. I'm passionate about growing business opportunities in Dunedin. Transport and parking issues are important to me, and flooding and management of city assets, especially in South Dunedin area, are a major issue. So remember to vote for Malcolm Dixon at Dunedin City Council.
If you're eligible to vote in the local body elections, you should have received your voting papers by now. Elections are being held for Mayor, the Dunedin City Council and its community boards, and the Otago Regional Council. Information about candidates and the different types of voting systems is included with your voting papers, or visit dunedin.govt.nz/elections. All voting papers will list candidates randomly so that every voting paper is different. Remember, you have the right to vote. Don't be left out. Vote early.
Welcome back. A new central Queenstown development is getting women's clothing store Storm as its second tenant. A small new shopping complex is being established in Beach Street in the main part of town. Storm was founded in New Zealand in 2005. The chain is owned by Hallenstein Glass and Holdings Limited and already has 12 stores across the country, with one in Melbourne, Australia. General Manager Deborah Cordwell says the brand has been waiting to get into Queenstown for 4 years. The doors will open on Thursday. Well, it's nearly October when New Zealanders are given extra encouragement to stop smoking through a month-long challenge. This is the third year the government has teamed up with health professionals for Stoptober, and Southern organisers are hoping families and friends will support loved ones in taking up the challenge.
3 in 20 New Zealanders currently smoke, but in Southland that number's slightly higher, with 4 in 20 people smoking. The government's aiming for a smoke-free country by 2025. So for the third year running, the Crown and health professionals are teaming up for Stoptober.
It's around getting your friends and family to help support you to stop smoking as well, and it just goes along with the research that you're 5 times more likely to stop smoking if you can do it for 31 days.
This year's theme is Let's Kick Butt Together, emphasising the importance of support from family and friends. Research shows 2 in every 3 smokers dies from a related illness. Well South is wanting Kiwis to know that quitting can happen at any time.
Ideally, you don't start smoking, but all the way through your journey, any time is a good time to stop. So anyone, whatever age, it's still beneficial to stop smoking.
The government's already increased tax on tobacco, limited its visibility in stores and is looking into plain packaging. Well South says the next step to a smoke-free Aotearoa in 2025 is to stop people from picking up the habit.
There's a lot of things that are all working together to try and encourage people to A, stop smoking, and B, stop taking it up, so stop starting basically.
It's free to join in the challenge. Participants can register and get more information online. Ruby Spink, The South Today.
Gore is preparing for one of its beloved calendar staples, the annual Rhododendron Festival. Each year the event attracts thousands of people and the town comes alive with colour, and organisers are expecting another great turnout.
Brooklyn is a 23-year veteran of the Gore Rhododendron Festival. Gore Public Gardens looks empty at the moment, but come festival day it will be bustling with people, market stalls and the famous rhododendron blooms. Brooklyn's stepped back her involvement in the event, but she's expecting good things.
I started off as a convener 23 years ago, but I am the advertising liaison person this year. Each member of the committee has a different role to play, and that's mine.
Over 50 stallholders have signed on to the event, offering arts and crafts, clothing, plants, garden furniture, food and coffee. Live bands will play music while people look at the rhododendrons and browse for bargains. Brooklyn says there will be something for the little ones too.
In the past it's been riding around on jeeps and astro balls and bouncy castles and merry-go-rounds, that sort of thing, and we used to have bikes too, bikes for fun.
A people's choice of the best bloom will be selected from a display of flowers submitted by members of the public at St Andrew's Church Hall. Alongside this will be an art display and a serving of Devonshire tea. Brooklyn says that while these special touches keep the public coming back, the future of the festival is uncertain.
The public would miss it if it wasn't held, and whereas our committee are all getting a little bit older, it's harder to find the younger ones coming along to sort of, help and take over, but I'm sure we'll carry on as long as we can.
Invitation to stallholders went out as early as 6 months ago when preparations began. The event launches on the 30th of October. Dee Karen, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, conservationists try to find out what's eating the eggs and chicks of one of our native species, and academics gather to discuss clean energy resources and what's holding them back.
Silberhorn's Collagen Plus naturally supports your collagen levels, giving you younger, firmer-looking skin, healthier, shinier hair and stronger nails. Be quick, buy one now and get a second pack half price. Call 0800 502 402.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
Put your seatbelts on for this one and rev it up. Thursday night is Motorsport Night. They brought to you by multi-award-winning Garador.
We need your help to rebuild our animal centre urgently. Please give a little today.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
Hi, I'm Dave Cole, Mayor of Dunedin, and together we're building a great city, not just for now, but for the future. And I'm committed to creating a positive legacy of sensible investments, sustainable businesses, an emphasis on infrastructure and environment, healthier homes, and your community well-being. A future our kids can be really proud to inherit. If you want the same positive future, please mark 1 for Dave Cole for Mayor and return your voting form. Thanks.
If you're eligible to vote in the local body elections, you should have received your voting papers by now. Elections are being held for Mayor, the Dunedin City Council and its community boards, and the Otago Regional Council. Information about candidates and the different types of voting systems is included with your voting papers, or visit dunedin.govt.nz/elections. All voting papers will list candidates randomly so that every voting paper is different. Remember, you have the right to vote. Don't be left out. Vote early.
Welcome back. Female kea on Mount Aspiring are going to be closely monitored by conservationists this summer. About 5 nesting sites in the east and west Matukituki valleys will be captured on camera in January. The Kea Conservation Trust is aiming to find out what's eating kea eggs and chicks. The native mountain parrots are vulnerable to predators. Trust members are planning to catch female kea and attach transmitters to them in order to locate their nests. Then cameras will be placed in and out of nests to capture breeding progress and predator activity. The $20,000 project is being funded by Auckland Zoo and a private local donor. Otago University's Centre for Sustainability is looking into ways the planet can use cleaner energy resources. It's just hosted a seminar outlining associated problems with governments and large corporations that are protective of resources and borders. But there is hope for a way forward.
The world's energy could be sustainable if all nations decide to get along. That's the message from the co-director of the Otago Energy Research Centre, who's just headlined a seminar at Otago University's Centre for Sustainability in Dunedin. He says it's a conversation about the future that could have happened years ago and needs to happen now.
In the modern sense, we think of energy and geopolitics starting in 1973 with the first oil embargo, and then 1979 with the Iranian Revolution. And what you have is oil prices rising dramatically and decreases in supply, which cause real economic hardship in developed countries, in Western countries, because oil prices go through the roof and have a real economic impact.
Dr. Diaz-Rainey says a scheme known as Desert Tech is a major solar initiative which could harness power from many countries. But that's if it wasn't in such a politically charged area, including countries like Libya.
I gave an example of Desert Tech, which was the idea that Europe would get sort of solar power from North Africa. And so it'd be surprising, you know, one of the things that academics tend to do is they go deep within their particular subject area and they don't necessarily go across. So here you saw a very high profile project that involved technologists and maybe some even economists to look at costs. They really haven't thought that much about sort of geopolitical risk.
He concluded there are many avenues of research where academics the world over can further plot how governments can work together. That's in the hope of effecting change to make the world a cleaner, greener place, with cooperation and renewable energy. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. An Invercargill property lawyer is launching an app she's developed to help first home buyers navigate the tricky purchase process. University of Otago researchers are revealing the surprising secrets of some highly unusual plants in the sub-Antarctic islands. And Southern Skifield staff are describing this season as epic, with increased numbers of both domestic and international visitors. It's time now for a peek of what's going to be inside the pages of tomorrow's Otago Daily Times. We're joined by Phil Somerville. Good evening.
Yes, hi Rebecca. Tomorrow's fresh day, lots of recipes and the usual columns, beer, wine and so forth. We've got a story about the wallaby invasion into Otago. The Regional Council's taking it very seriously, declaring war on them. Apparently they've hopped across the bridge at Kurau and spreading from there. Wow. So that's actually quite serious. Interesting stories from court, several of those. One about what happened to the bus driver who hit the blind woman and the result of that case. We've got new sports pages, the new rugby laws and what various coaches think of them. Pretty mixed bag. Editorials on our enduring hero, Sir Edmund Hillary. And on the world pages, of course, the great debate, Clinton and Trump.
Yes, the beginning of what's going to be a very, very interesting few months indeed. Thank you, Phil. That's tomorrow's ODT. It's time now for tomorrow's weather.
Brought to you in association with Silverhorns Emu Oil.
And here is today's southern view. It's taken of the Earnslaw. Well, to the situation in the northeast, flow is still with us for another couple of days yet. It's bringing cloudy periods and some drizzle at times. We're expecting some cloud tomorrow for Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore, highs of around 14 or 15 degrees. Also some cloud for Wanaka, Queenstown, Alexandra and Te Anau, and once again highs of between 14 and 15 degrees. A mostly cloudy day for Timaru, Oamaru, Twizel and Omarama, and highs of between 13 and 15 degrees. Tomorrow and Thursday, often cloudy with extensive low cloud morning and night. A few drizzle patches, drier conditions in the afternoon with nor'easters. And tonight's low 7 degrees. We're expecting 13 degrees each day for the next 2 days. And in Invercargill tonight, fine with a low of 4. Tomorrow and Thursday, mostly fine weather, although isolated showers are possible late afternoon. Going for 15 degrees tomorrow and 16 on Thursday. And that is all from the team here at the South Today for Tuesday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.